And hit it.
Welcome to J. Thomas News with Mr. Fish and Rocky. News alert! Thomas Massie gets nothing done again!
Murder and mayhem plagues our cities. Mayors say meh.
Massive fraud about massive fraud! Minnesota muzzies make millions!
No moves from Hormuz. The Iranians play while you pay.
And finally, Odyssey Schmodyssey! Try that crap in the hood!
That's your clues to the news. Take it away, JT.
Is it them again, Yogi?
It's always them, boo-boo.
And now, from a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma, nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty. It's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Thank you, Alex. I'm the humblest of hosts. Well, it happened again. I was right, and I was right about something that I wish I wasn't right about, but I am, and here it is. The shooting at Lake Arcadia in Edmond, Oklahoma, about a week ago, took the life of an 18-year-old girl who is about to graduate this year and get on with the rest of her life. She had just turned 18, and there's a thug in prison, or in jail right now. His name is Jalen Davis, and he has a long record since he was 16, prior, even before 16, but we don't know those, for armed robbery, for drive-by shootings. And I said at the beginning of this, I said everybody there, everybody at that party, and they all say it was an unregistered party. Well, duh. Everybody at that party knows who the perp is. They know who the other thug is. They know who all the thugs are. But they're not talking. There's another young lady, and she looks like she's in school, and she's taping us. And she was shot. She was a victim. She was winged, I guess. And she's talking about what happened. Talking about being there with her boyfriend, and there were actually 3 fights that broke out between girls over guys. And then the guys got involved, and then some thugs were against other thugs, and it just, because why not? It's Sunday fun day. And I told you then, like I said, I told you then, no one is going to turn these people in. I don't know how Jalen got turned in. I have no clue. But this other guy, Jalen's just a punk. He's just a punk that is 18 years old. He's just a scumbag. This other guy, however, it's been a week. It has been a week, and there's nothing. So let's hear what she has to say.
It's just so bad. Like, we looking at people, and everything is just. Now, mind you, there are videos out there that people can't release, but it shows the man that did it. We all know who did it. We all saw the man that did it. And
they all know the guy, they all saw him, and they have videos of him. But they will not release them to the cops.
yeah, I can't really speak too much about the situation because I don't want to get in trouble.
She's not getting in trouble with the police. She's talking about getting in trouble with the thug. She's talking about putting her life in jeopardy.
But I just wanted to share my side.
Okay, so she was one of the people, according to her, she was one of the people that were involved with the girl fights. So, what's happening? What's going on with this? Obviously, we have incompetent politicians doing it again. This is last night. They were supposed to discuss the crown jewel of Edmond, the Edmond City Council, with the mayor. They're going to discuss the Edmond situation, the crown jewel of Edmond, and let's see what happens. This is from News 9 in Oklahoma City, and it's from Shelby Love. Take it away, Shelby.
After hours, and tonight city councilors were set to discuss access to the lake, but that discussion didn't last long. News 9 Shelby Love is live.
They were supposed to discuss access to the lake, but that discussion didn't last long.
And Edmond with that. Shelby?
Amanda and Carl, at the Edmond City Council meeting, the conversation was mostly about water usage and data centers.
Water usage and data centers after a mass shooting that one young girl lost her life.
10 minutes was spent on anything related to the shooting at Arcadia Lake. Now, out of the 3 people signed up for public comment, only one person showed up.
And she's brave. I'll tell you that right now. She is very brave. Her name is Rebecca. And I'm going to tell you something. She's complaining about what's going on there. And this Mark Nash, the mayor, he's looking around like, hey, don't look at me. I'm just the mayor.
Rebecca Walter brought up the lake's Conservation Education Center, saying she lives near it and her family no longer goes there because it's unsafe, saying she believes it played a part in the Arcadia Lake shooting.
Yeah, they're thugs.
The last 2 years specifically, the increased drug usage in that area and the boldness of people using drugs and alcohol, and I think that boldness is what contributed to what happened in that tragedy.
The thugs know they're
not
going to do anything. And there's the useless mayor.
Mayor Nash said they only put Arcadia Lake access on the agenda to start the dialogue.
They're starting the dialogue, which will lead to a discussion, which will lead to more, more dialogue, and then maybe a white paper, and then maybe a blue paper, and then a blue ribbon panel that will get together and investigate and deliver their findings and start another dialogue with the community.
And let the community know that they are looking into it.
See?
Now, right before the meeting adjourned, Councilwoman Murdoch Nichols took a brief moment to share her condolences for the family of that 18-year-old who was killed. Mayor Nash echoed her statements.
Whoa.
Live in Edmond, Shelby Love.
There you go. There you go. That's the that is the epitome of uselessness. The mayor and the city council of Edmond, just like every city council and mayorship here in this state, are scared crapless of these thugs. They don't want to be called racists. They don't want to be called, hey, I'm going to call you out. They don't want to be called, white supremacists from the Democrats, so they'll say nothing and they'll do nothing. This is how the Democrats have treated black people. This is a black illness that they don't go to. They're not going to release these videos. They're not going to name the guy because snitches get stitches. And this is from the Democrats. This is a Democrat. This is how the Democrats do this. This is how the Democrats have taught blacks over the years. Don't say anything. This is why every city is just chock full of fraud, including Oklahoma City and including Tulsa with Mayor 5 Cent. I am telling you right now, this is an illness in the black community in America that they don't go to police because they don't trust the cops because of continued beating of this stupid narrative that the cops will not help you. That cops don't go around, they don't do things for the black community. They're not going to do anything, you have to participate. And you know what? The Democrats don't want them participating. So they have trained blacks not to participate. What do you think? Why do you think that the murder clearance rate of a lot of cities is like 18%? The other 80% of the murders go unsolved in a lot of places because blacks don't turn other blacks in. They just go out and kill the guy. So this guy that shot Avianna last week, if it's not Jalen, he'll get, something, but this guy will end up dead. Someone's going to go out and shoot him. Because that's how it's done. And then that's how you get, that's how you get shitholes in the United States. That's why every blue city is a shithole. So welcome to the Democrats. And don't cry to me, black people. Take some responsibility yourself and turn this asshole in. Holy crap. All right, on to Massie. Okay, this is Politibunny's headline on Twitchy. Thomas Massie allegations reportedly from his ex-girlfriend making the rounds on X, and whoo boy, and it's that's true. Okay, and look, I think Massie is useless. I think he's been useless for a long time. I liked Massie at first. I thought that, man, this guy's going to be great, and he has done really nothing. And the reason why he's done nothing is no one likes him. He thinks he wants to go in and he's going to take one big bite and he's going to cure all this stuff instead of chipping it away. You have to chip away at this monstrosity. You know how you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Not Massie. He wants to take the whole elephant. That's not going to work. So instead of making friends and doing this bit at a time, he just grandstands. And that's what I don't like about the guy. Him, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who had her own problems. She was insane. And everybody else. This is I don't like this because it's again unverified. It's just beginning. It's a sex thing. And I don't like talking about other people's sex lives. And it's not the point. The point is, well, this is the same stuff that's in the Epstein files. And this is this is karma for Massie. So what is it? All right. Well, let's get to it. And again, this is unverified, but Cynthia West is the ex-girlfriend. And she is saying that soon after Massie's wife died, and she had health problems for a long time, and she passes away. About 2 months after his wife died, he starts hooking up with this Cynthia West. So she goes to an attorney to file a grievance after she's fired. But let's get what she says first. Go ahead, take that.
Forms or identify any evidence or identify witnesses?
Yeah.
Did you comply with all those requirements?
So she goes and she fills out all the forms, and she meets all the requirements that are put in front of her in Congress, that you have to fill out all these processes, right? And she filled them out over. This was just last year. So what my little paper says here. Okay, let's listen to what she says.
I did.
And in the course of filling out those documents, did you by any chance list Thomas Massie as a potential witness?
I did, yes.
How did he react to that?
Well, out of courtesy, when I started the process, I called him up to let him know. And he was very angry. And he said, you're just one person, that you can't make a difference, that you need to just walk away. And then he had $5,000 that he said that he would give me if I could just walk away.
Woo! Do you understand how bad this is for Thomas Massie, right? This is really bad. So this is from the Golden Age Times on X, and it starts off, the Thomas Massie files have been released, and they're quite disturbing. Cynthia West, a Florida school board candidate for Okaloosa County, District 5, has been carrying a secret, and she didn't know who to turn to for advice on how to handle it. So she met up with a Marcus Carey, a prominent Kentucky attorney, to seek advice, and he interviewed her, where she agreed to go on record with what has been unfolding in her life involving Mr. Massie. and another congresswoman, and he attempts to bribe her with cash and silence. And with an NDA, of course, because everybody has an NDA, right? So 2 months after Massie's wife passed, her name was Rhonda, she entered into a romantic relationship with Massie, which was in August of 2024. Totally normal behavior for a new widower. Yeah, because, you know, I've been married to you for 31 years, but 2 weeks after this, was it 2 months? All right, okay, it's 2 months, I'm sorry. 8 weeks after this, right? Is that better? I'm hooking up already. The pair went on trips, and she'd visit him in Kentucky in Rhonda's home, and then things started heating up between them, and he gave her a promise ring. Woo, okay. Things were going great. In fact, Thomas helped Wes get a job working for Indiana Rep. Victoria Sparks. That's how this works, by the way. I mean, Massie is just as swampy as anybody else. Continuing. This way, she could travel to D.C. to spend more time with him while she was there. Then, the relationship took a weird turn. He began requesting she do sex acts for him that made her uncomfortable. Okay. When she refused and objected, she expressed that he became angry and emotionally abusive towards her. West ended the relationship, but continued working for Representative Sparks. Shortly after the breakup, she said she got a text saying she was fired. Cynthia stated she never got written up, nor did anything to warrant this other than expressing concern for Sparks' well-being, so she went to the ethics to put in the complaint. So she has to go to the ethics board, and that's where this guy comes in. That's where he was talking to her. That's that other tape. Cynthia says he then did what any other principled conservative would do. He tried to bribe her with $5,000 in cash and wanted her to sign an NDA. That's a cheap NDA, man. I'm going to tell you. Cynthia refused the cash and the NDA, and she said Massie has cash that he calls cow money. Ooh, cow money. Which, I wonder who he's calling a cow. Which he is untraceable and that he doesn't report. I think that's illegal. Who knew the guy who demands transparency in D.C. did all he could to be the least transparent at all? Okay. And again, okay, these are just accusations. I'm not going to get into if they're true or not because I really don't have to. 90% of the stuff that are in the Epstein files is bullcrap. You can read it, and it is bullcrap. And then the 10% that is, apparently, I mean, I don't understand why the people who are victims of him can't come forward. Because he's dead, and Maxwell's in jail. Well, come forward. So, and it's not like they haven't. They've named these people before. So it's not like these people have any power over them. So let's take a listen to this real quick. Okay, so this is Marcus Carey, and he's describing what happened with this lady came forward to him. So let's just hear a little bit of what he says.
For more than 46 years as a lawyer, people have come to me when they felt they had nowhere else to turn. That happened again just a few weeks ago. I was introduced to a woman named Cynthia. She came to me looking for advice about a problem she could not solve on her own. And after listening carefully to what she had to say, I realized that the best advice I could give her was actually very simple. Be honest, be forthright, and be brave. Honesty was not the problem. Being forthright was not the problem. What she lacked was courage. Not because she was weak, but because she understood the price people sometimes pay for telling the truth.
Okay, so, but she did come forward, so I don't know. This is a little bit, to me, that's exaggeration. Now, Cynthia, I mean, she has a record in Washington, D.C. It's true that he got her the job. It's true that she is his ex-girlfriend. 2 months after his wife died. And now, it's sort of weird. This is from the Hindustan Times. I don't know why they have these things, but the Hindustan Times comes up with some weird crap. This is okay. This is Republican U.S. Representative Thomas Massie tied the knot with his new love, Carolyn Grace Moffa. Okay, this is like last February, so this is like a year, November 2nd. All right, so this is November 2nd of 2025. So this is a year and a half right after his wife dies. So he's had this one girl, and then all of a sudden this Miss Moffa, she comes along, and bingo, and she's like 20 years younger than he is. Yeah, good for him. Anyway, so okay. Tied the knot with his new love, Carolyn Grace Moffa, and the two immediately resumed their work on his farm in Kentucky. Representative Margie Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan were among the approximately 150 guests who attended their wedding on November 2nd, which took place at the farm in Pennsylvania. Their private ceremony in Garrison, Kentucky. What? Oh, a farm. I said, what's he doing with the farm in Pennsylvania? Okay, that's a farm. The private ceremony in Garrison, Kentucky remained a secret for around 2 weeks. Now listen to this. We put on work clothes. She left her veil on, and we butchered some chickens. Oh, okay. Adding that the former assistant to Republican Senator Rand Paul, you just knew he was in there somewhere, assisted with the birds bleeding out, scalding, and plucking. Okay, well, that's from the Hindustan Times. So now, it looks like Massie has his own little, Epstein file thing here. And we'll see where that goes. Again, I don't like this because, again, I don't know if this is true. There's people with feelings are hurt, things like that. All sorts of weird stuff comes out. So I'm not saying this is true, but this is exactly what happened with the Epstein files. So there's a little bit of karma there, Mr. Massie. All right, so let's get to the fraud in Minnesota. So here's what's going on in Minnesota concerning some of the fraud, some of the $9 billion and more, actually. It's in the teens. It's in $18-20 billion in fraud. I'm thinking it's more. Okay. Now, pay attention because this is a federal charge, not a state charge. And pay attention to the names involved. Hit it. Fox 9 in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
More guilty pleas in the Feeding Our Future fraud scandal taking place in court. Our Bill Keller is outside of the federal courthouse
in
Minneapolis
Bill Keller,
with the very latest in what is happening or what has happened. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Well, Gandhi Muhammad was among 5 family members who were indicted for a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme involving the Federal Child Nutrition Program. Last month, the 5 others pled guilty as part of an agreement with prosecutors. And after initially rejecting that government's plea deal, the 45-year-old has since changed his mind.
Ooh, yeah.
His jury trial was set to begin April 20th. This morning, Gandhi Muhammad pled guilty to a single count of money.
They're letting him out.
Carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison. Under the terms of the plea agreement, prosecutors are recommending that he spend between 30 and 37 months behind bars. He be ordered to repay nearly $1.4 million in restitution.
He's moved on with his life.
Listen to this. This is a sleazy lawyer.
He's ready to make amends, and he's a service member, former service member,
Sure.
successful businessman,
Yeah.
and he acknowledges his wrongdoing, and he's going to do whatever he can do to make amends
Sure.
for his conduct. He's deeply, deeply remorseful. for his
Deeply
conduct.
remorseful.
Yeah, meanwhile, another man who pled guilty in this fraud scheme is heading to prison. On Wednesday, Abdullahi Jesso was sentenced to 3.5
Abdullahi Jesso of the Mayflower Jessos?
years in prison and 2 years of supervised release.
What?
He is also being ordered to repay $866,000 in restitution. Now, of the 79 people in all that have been charged with stealing more than $250 million in COVID relief funds, now 64 have either pled guilty or been convicted at trial. The U.S. Attorney's Office says that is the largest number of convictions in a single fraud investigation, Tom, in recent memory.
All right, so where is everybody else? Where are the people from the Leering Center? Where's the bus owners? Where's the taxi cab owners? Where are all these other people? And why are they walking around, Mr. Trump? Why did that guy get out of, he was walking out of jail after pleading guilty of all this fraud. He's walking out of jail? Really? He's walking out of court, I mean? Where are the arrests? Where are the people being taken to prison? I don't see them. I don't see them being deported. I don't see any of this crap. He is a successful businessman. Gandhi Muhammad? What business? Does he own the Leering Center? Does he own the taxis that take the kids that don't leer at the Leering Center? Which one is it, Mr. Trump? Because I'm getting sick and tired of waiting, and I'm getting sick and tired of not seeing any illegals being deported. This is not. I'm not happy about it. You know, I really don't care about our next story is Iran. And I'm telling you, I don't care about Iran anymore. I really don't. But let's get into Iran. Why is the Iran? Why is the peace? Why is the not the peace? The was it the what the hell? It says here, day 73 of this conflict, and the ceasefire is on life support. Why is it on life support? Rip it off life support and start bombing these people again until you get all of the IGRC, all of these little scumbags that are at the top of this rotten regime, and let's get on with this. I'm sick and tired of having to pay gas prices that I shouldn't have to be paying because this is crazy. Here's the thing, okay? They're saying that well, oil is an international commodity. Well, we have a lot of oil. We shouldn't be paying these prices. I don't care if it's an international commodity. Okay? Here's the point of that. Everybody knows that there's turmoil in the Middle East. That's baked in. If you don't know there's turmoil in the Middle East, then you're an idiot. And all that's baked in. And every time there's one person gets shot in the Middle East, oil prices spike. And Mr. Trump, I'm sick of it. You can do something about it, but you're not doing it. And this is really pissing me off. It's starting to really piss me off. I'm sorry. This thing, they shouldn't be on life support. 7 days ago, what was it? 6 days ago, you said they'll be bombed at a much higher level if it doesn't agree to peace. Okay, well, get going with it. And lastly, but The Odyssey. The Odyssey is a book by Homer which details these heroic battles, numerous battles between all sorts of a guy trying to get home. And it's usually portrayed by warriors and beautiful women. Instead, we get Elliot Page, who's a guy girl dude thing that's not a guy but not really a girl, so I don't know what the hell he is, or it is. I don't know, and I don't really care. But it's supposed to be something in this movie, and we also, the Helen of Troy, it's Helen of Detroit. It's Lupita Nyong'o. And she's not Helen of Troy, she's Helen of Detroit, because she doesn't look anything like well, she doesn't look like she's Greek. Let's put it like that. So the director, Christopher Nolan, is retelling Homer's The Odyssey, set to debut in theaters July 17th, we're learning more about it. The Odyssey is going to be set like he's comparing it to rap music. That's nice. Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy and more. Elliot Page as Achilles. Dude thing. Anyway, it's garbage. No one's going to see it. I don't care if it does have, it's star-studded. Matt Damon's in it. Well, who knows and who cares? It's garbage. It's going to be garbage. And if you go and see it, I hope your eyeballs fall out. Anyway. I just can't take it anymore. I can't. What? Oh, come on. Here we go. All right, we're going to get out of here. 30 minutes of your life that you can't get back. Look at the world around you. There's something going on. We need to have Trump starting to pay attention to this country. And part of that is ending this stupid war or operation in Iran. Get rid of these people, Trump. Okay? President Trump, get rid of him. Let's get on with life. All right, people. Man, it's just getting worse. Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow.